Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are on the Global History News Network. Tune in. Hi, I'm Anchor One from the front in France, and today we'll be telling you about what's going on in the battle of what they call now the Battles of Somme. Okay, we have received reports that the British and French Allied forces are attempting to break through the German lines in what is already being called the Battle of Somme. The scale of this conflict is unprecedented. On the very first day alone, the British suffered nearly 60,000 deaths. It is bad out there. This military revolution marks a terrifying shift in modern warfare. For the first time, we are seeing the widespread of use of heavy artillery, bombarded alongside a brand new mechanical beast called the tank, an amazing weapon itself, just a terror. The trenches are locked in a brutal stalemate, and the military experts tell us that this battle could drag on for months, costing hundreds of thousands of lives, innocent people dying for a war they didn't want to be in. We'll bring you updates as this historical clash unfolds. Now, let's go over to Anchor 2 for a look at dramatic changes happening across this Atlantic.
Thank you, Anchor One. Turning to South America, a shocking and tragic situation has developed in Ciénaga, Colombia. It is December 1928, and a massive labor strike has ended in what locals are calling the Banana Massacre. For weeks, over 20,000 workers for the United Fruit Company, an American corporation dominant in the region, had been striking for better worker conditions and proper medical care, as well as fair wages. The regional tensions reached a boiling point when the Colombian government, pressured by international corporate interests, sent the military into the town square where the striking workers and their family had gathered after Sunday Mass. General Cortez Vargas ordered his troops to open fire on the crowd. While corporate and government reports claim that only a small number of casualties occurred, local community members state that hundreds, possibly even thousands of workers were killed. This event has sent a shockwave through the Americas, forever changing the landscape of labor rights and corporate powers in Latin America.
My partner here. We're gonna go to Europe. And what people have told us in Europe is that the international treaties are being tested to their absolute limits. It is March 13, 1936, and German troops have just marched directly into Rhineland. That does not sound that good to me. How does that sound?
Sounds bad. That Hitler guy, I feel like we gotta watch out for him.
Me too. It is bad. And as our viewers know, the Rhineland was explicitly designed as a demilitarized zone under the Treaty of Versailles following the First World War to act as a buffer between Germany and France. But this bold move by Adolf Hitler is a direct violation of international laws and a major turning point between the World War. Reports coming out of Berlin suggest this is an effort to test the resolve of the League of Nations. I feel like the League of Nations will try and put a stop to this. But so far, Britain and France have chosen not to respond with military force, opting instead for a policy of appeasement. Political analysts warn that this is a lack of intervention could embolden the German regime, completely destabilizing the fragile peace established in Europe. Over the last 2 decades, we are watching this region with intense concern.
To close out our broadcast tonight, we turn to East Africa, where a massive anti-colonial rebellion has erupted on the island of Madagascar. It is 1947, and the local population has risen up against French colonial rule in what is being called the Malagasy Uprising. Joining us tonight in the studio to analyze this critical situation is our foreign policy expert. Please tell us what triggered this sudden rebellion against the French administration.
Well, the tension has been building for a long time. After fighting for the French during World War II, The legacy nationalists expect more political freedom and independence. Instead, they face forced labor, high taxes, and a complete lack of representation. Nationalist groups decided they had seen enough and launched coordinated attacks against colonial plantations and military outposts.
And how is the French government responding to this uprising?
The response has been increasingly severe. The French military has deployed thousands of troops to suppress the rebellion, leading to widespread casualties and destruction of villages. It is brutal conflict that highlights the intense struggle for decolonization happening all across Africa.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
This concludes our Global Newsreel update. Please give us full credit